The first question asks, did you kill Sheena Morris? Your answer was?
No.
All right. The second question, were you involved in causing the death of Sheena Morris?
No.
And your answer was no.
No.
And the polygraph result on both questions is that that answer was deceptive. That you were not telling the truth when you said that.
I don't know what to tell you, but...
So, what do you have to say?
Well, I don't know if this is good for TV or what, but the point of the matter is, Doctor, I know I went home that night, and people saw me home that night, and I was there all night. Now, I'm nervous and such. I would never do anything like what you guys are trying to say.
Now, wait a minute. Don't say what I'm trying to say. Now, Joe, that's not fair.
I understand.
That's not fair. Don't give me that crap. I've been very fair with you, and don't give me that, oh, that's good for television. Because I asked you, I brought you the top professional in the country. You agreed to take the test. I asked you before in this envelope, was the test fair? Were you comfortable with it? Were there any problems whatsoever? Were you comfortable with him? Did everything go well? Was the protocol right? All of that. And the result isn't what you want. You say, oh, well, you're just doing this for television. I resent that. That is not what is going on here. I have been straight and fair with you, and you know that.
All right. Well, I'd like to take it again then, because obviously it's wrong.
Okay. Well, and listen, I want to help you any way that I can.
Yeah,
but don't insult me when I have gone to great lengths to bring you the top professional here. Jack, help me out here. Is this, was this a close call?
Wasn't a close call at all.
What does that mean?
It means he should have been polygraphed back in 2009.
Right. And
He should have been interviewed sooner, back in 2009.
Right.
As I sit here today, in my mind, Joe's a suspect in the murder.
Uh-huh. What would you want? Go ahead.
And first of all, they said I was interviewed 22 days later, and that's not the truth. David went down.
So it was 5 days later.
It was approximately 5 days later, and David went with me on the interview.
4 or 5.
See, there's just
We weren't
constant...
interviewed.
Okay. Kelly, what do you want to say?
They were not interviewed that 5 days later. The police released my daughter's jewelry to Joe, and they simply handed Sheena's suitcase to the father. They did not question Joe at that point, and they never even sat Sheena's father down and asked, when was the last time you spoke with her, and how did she sound when you spoke with her? None of that. They handed David his dead daughter's suitcase and my dead daughter's jewelry back to Joe. There was no questioning done at that point.
Tell me what's in your mind and heart right now, having heard these results.
I really was not hoping that Joe was the murderer of my daughter. If it turned out that he passed, then I knew there was another avenue that I had to look further into. I can't even look that way right now.
Kelly, I didn't murder Sheena, okay? And we really just need to take another polygraph, because I'm telling you right now, I went home and I was there all night. So we need to do another polygraph.
I won't polygraph you again.
Okay, well then somebody else will have to, because I'm telling you, I was nervous about this in the beginning. I'm nervous. I've never taken one of these things before.
No one ever has, Joe, and everyone's nervous.
Okay.
But you're either lying or you're telling the truth.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.